Hello, everybody, and welcome to Eric's retrospective on their blind play of Edge of the Earth. I'm going to just dive right in, Eric. What did you think of the campaign?
I really liked it.
Yep.
I actually thought it was really, really well done. And it was shocking to me how such a simple story, ultimately this one I think has the least twists and turns and the least kind of nuance and weirdness to it, could do so phenomenally well. I actually thought it was really, really good. I think they put a lot of good tech into the idea of literally just walking across the snow, going down a tube, coming out of the tube.
Yep. Yep.
Really, really strong campaign despite that. Yeah, I would love playing it again. Also shocking how much replayability it feels it has for ultimately being a story about walking across the snow and then going in and out of tubes.
Yep. There is a lot of small ounces of replayability. There are some things that kind of get a little bit stickier on replays, but
I believe it.
I think there is a lot of stuff that is very open and very fun, depending on what partners die, who dies in the plane crash, etc., etc., etc. So what I'll do before we get to the actual scenarios, let's talk about the mechanics, because I think that Edge of the Earth has some actual unique mechanics that are a big part of it. So let me just start there. What did you think of the partner mechanic?
I thought the partner mechanic was really, really clever. I think I actually liked it and the interludes more than I liked how they did Hemlock Vale. And I actually would love to see more of the partner mechanic going forward. Getting to know the characters, getting to actually feel it when they were lost, was really, really good. I would say my one criticism of it was that killing off some of the partners as early as they did took away a lot of the narrative power of that. When some of them just die from the first scenario or even before then, you just don't really care. I started to care about the characters dying towards the end and then stopped caring again at the end, which I felt was actually really narratively fitting.
Yeah, because kind of I need to survive.
Yeah, as the stakes rose.
Yeah. Okay, what about the Frost token mechanic?
Frost token I actually really enjoyed, I gotta say. I wish there was more mitigation of Frost tokens. I think with more mitigation, they could have also gone harsher on Frost tokens, although from what I hear, we played pretty aggressively into them. But I actually found them really, really fun. I will say I did not like the possession mechanic connected to Frost tokens. I actually thought that was a point of weakness, where I think Frost tokens are already bad.
Yeah.
I think making them worse is unnecessary. That was putting a little too much hat on a hat.
Yeah, and it's kind of why you realize why, when I told you near the end that most of the time people just try to keep it down to one or two Frost tokens because of that. It is true. I'd be curious to see if a reimagining of what if possession was based on Tekalilis and the Frostbite was based on Frost tokens.
100%.
All right, so then Tekalilis, what did you think of them?
So I love Tekalilis. I think that's a great idea. I don't think that it's actually very good, though. How do I put this? I think it's a great idea in theory. I think it's a terrible idea in execution. I think Arkham is a game where a big goal is shaping your deck to be the right deck size, shaping your deck to be the right draw, and to try and control the pace and shape of your deck. I think anything that messes with the deck in a negative way, very cute. I think anything that messes with the deck in a negative way needs to be done with a lot of consideration. And I think that the Tekalilis are too impactful for having both a very swingy printed ability. Some of them hugely mattered. Some of them never important. But I think what's more important is that they bulk up your deck.
Yeah, I would actually be down if the Tekalilis just said draw a card. All of them just said draw a card.
Yeah.
Right? I think that would really change. Because how it is fighters generally already have a harder time drawing through their deck, and Tekalilis are just eating them. And early in the campaign, it is very common for fighters to have more Tekalilis than Cloovers, right? Ours was the anomaly, our campaign, but that's because you just took them all like a patron saint. But yeah, the patron saint of Tekalili. But a big thing is that generally it just eats the fighters' draws while the Seekers can just draw through them.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that's one of those things where if they just said draw a card, I'd be curious to see how they played.
Yeah, and yeah, again, I don't think it's a bad idea, but I think it needs revisiting, especially because if you draw one during your upkeep, that just poisons your upkeep.
Yeah.
And it poisons your upkeep in a way that I don't think is clever, and I don't think is fun. I like games where you can shove stuff in other people's decks and shove stuff in and like have negative effects happen in your deck, but it needs to be done in a consistently thoughtful way about how it affects the overall play of the game.
Yeah. I will say Tekalilis, once you kind of like know they're in the campaign, they're easier, you feel them less, right? You kind of just like, oh, that's a Tekalili, right? And there's also, we didn't get the one asset that works against them. There's one that's really good for that. But and we also, Dyer died. His midnight, like his between mission meeting, is he removes Tekalilis from your deck.
Oh.
So there's like a lot of counterplay that we didn't get on our playthrough, which goes to the point of how small little things can really add to the replayability on Edge of the Earth. All right, let's go through scenarios.
Yeah.
Ice and Death Part 1. Crash the plane, have to explore the barren wastes of Antarctica to find a shelter. What did you think of that one?
Really, really fun. Really clever, really well put together. I will say that, surprisingly, unlike Circle Undone, I never really knew what the ancient evil was.
Yeah.
I still don't. This actually worked to its benefit. I thought that the way the horrors were presented was good. I thought the way that the cold mechanic was presented early on was good. The shelter mechanic felt really fun and really thematic and felt like I was pushing. I would say that this campaign has some of the best examples of push your luck in all of Arkham so far, and I think it does a great job of encouraging you.
Did you like the finding the supplies and then eventually adding them to your deck? That's another mechanic that's in this thing.
Again, I think this was a bit of an experiment in how much can you add to a player's deck and still have the deck function. And I think Edge of the Earth goes a little too far in that direction. I think assets plus Tekalilis is a bit much.
Yeah.
But I did think it was great. I do think that is a really smart, clever mechanic. And I felt like a lot of the assets felt really impactful.
All right, Ice and Death Part 2. Some people wandered off in the middle of the night and we got to find them. What did you think of that one?
Loved it. It reminds me of the Daedalov Pass incident, which I thought would feature more heavily in this story, especially after that incredibly strong reference to it.
Yeah.
And the whole idea of Beyond the Mansions of Madness and Daedalov Pass and the idea of people kind of hallucinating or going weird. I expected a much scarier, more horrific campaign after that. And I will admit I was a little disappointed that it didn't follow up on that. But I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
This, in a lot of ways, I felt this campaign was kind of a greatest hits of a lot of the horror that people like to put in snowy areas. We were really missing like a strong Thing reference, but otherwise felt really good. And we kind of had that too.
Yeah, you're right. It is kind of like just a greatest hits of Antarctic horror.
Yeah.
All right. Then we go to Ice and Death Part 3, where the creatures start bursting out of the ice and we need to fight them as they assault us. And we can go to attack the source or have them come to us.
Loved it. I actually really enjoy I hate tower defense games. I hate tower and base defense games for some reason, except in the way that Arkham does them. I think Arkham's basic gameplay loop and structure plays really, really well into it. There was a certain scenario in Hemlock Vale that I thought was absolutely phenomenal.
Longest Night, yep.
And I felt this one was also phenomenal. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. What did you think of because you said you don't really know the ancient ones. What is like this, how did you feel about like the Black Ichor madness type thing for the enemies?
I assume it's the color from Out of Space.
No, it's actually just related to like the history of the Shoggoths and like the original madness.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool, but I didn't understand it.
Yeah, because it's like not really described as far as, I mean, Travis is the real lore expert, but it's not really described too much. It's basically what Danforth saw as like the bad is what the villain is here.
Yeah, the villain is kind of just the nebulous concept of narrative madness.
Yes, yeah.
Which was fine, but I think they could have gone a lot further with it.
It's one of these things where actually, for me, it was kind of a weird sticking point where it went from this to Scarlet Keys, which has a very similar sort of nebulous entity, and I wanted to get something more concrete. And luckily, Hemlock Vale was pretty good for that regard. So.
Oh yeah.
All right. After that, we go to the Forbidden Peaks, where we're climbing up the mountain. We got to bring our gear up, and it's tough to climb up a mountain.
Yeah, I actually thought that was really fun. We didn't drop too much of the equipment, which was fine.
Yeah.
I thought that there was a specific part of that which was kind of bullshit, but everything else was really good. When the thing from the mountain just
killed somebody.
Just kill somebody.
Yeah. There's this thing where we only did it once, where you can resolute people and then they don't die. But it's not that they don't die; it's that they're just not included in the die pool, so someone still dies. So I think that was something that I was a little bit of a pickiness about.
It's also a little weird because the thing that emerges from the mountain is very clearly a star spawn.
Yeah.
And then nothing else deals with star spawn. So the Guardian of the Peaks has nothing to do with the campaign.
Yeah.
Which...
Thanks, Russ.
If they had focused on... that's me scratching at. If they had focused on making the star spawn more important, I thought that could have been cool. If the Guardian had come back in a more meaningful way, I thought that could have been cool. But it just kind of felt like a random-ass thing happening. It could have been an avalanche. It didn't need to be this cool moment that then was never paid off.
All right, after that, we went to the City of the Elder Things. We had to explore that giant map to find keys to eventually discover what was here and then find a way through.
I thought it was good. I actually thought a lot of their big maps, this was some of the better examples of their big maps. And their big exploration maps. So, yeah, I enjoyed it, but it kind of felt like a bit of a filler episode.
All right, and then we did this one only once, but in certain campaigns you could do it multiple times, where we went to the Mirage and into the dream worlds of everyone, where we got kind of backstory pieces from people.
That actually does remind me, when we did that, we chose to go to the outskirts and see what Danforth saw.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like we got payoff for that. Because what did Danforth see?
Yeah.
We didn't find out.
Yeah.
Basically nothing. For an entire thing...
Trust me, it was so scary. You can't even imagine how scary it was, Eric.
It's just, if your payoff is that... If the payoff of Lovecraft's story is this metaphorical, allegorical concept that there are these layers of reality and that beyond the Mountains of Madness was the place that even the Elder Things feared to look, and it had driven their civilization into rule and into disrepair, and then Danforth saw us, and then we chose to go that path, I expected, at least for us to die, at least for some sort of weird thing to happen. None of that. It was basically just, okay, you climb mountains. And I was like, that's it?
Yeah.
Really? There's no madness beyond the Mountains of Madness. Okay.
Okay, then we went to Heart of Madness Part 1, which is exploring inside the facility to find the seals to start trying to close the door so the madness can't get out.
I thought we were crushing it, and then we very rapidly weren't. I thought it was really, really fun. I thought it was really surreal to try and understand how it was all connected together. I think they maybe could have done a better job of figuring out how to do the layout more effectively.
It's better on a bigger table. We had to crush it down a bit.
Okay, that's
you
fair.
can actually put the 5-star, when you make it a star and not this weird star that had its legs broken.
But it was fun. I thought it was good. I thought it was one of the first times we were legitimately hard challenged by this. And that was good.
And then we go to the final scenario, Heart of Madness Part 2, where the madness gets out and we have to try to break down these mist pylons while also keeping the thing away from us.
Yeah. That was fun. Spoilers. I died. And I thought it was really well done. I actually thought that they managed to make the first part of the second half really, really good. The second half felt kind of boring.
Up the ramp?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Even watching.
Yeah.
I was kind of that's a bit of a weak point to end on.
Yeah.
But I really liked the release of the madness. That actually felt really interesting.
So the ramp might be my least favorite thing in all of Arkham. Not maybe it's not maybe not the most because I don't like Heart of Elders Part 1 that much. But the ramp is probably one of my least favorite things in all of Arkham.
Yeah, the ramp is not impressive. It's just a skill check that if you don't have the skill check, it's then an investigate check, which is kind of boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't do much.
It's one of those things where, and especially also like I had the exact same reaction the first time it happened, where we got all the mist pylons. The only difference is it just starts with less madness. You still have to climb up the ramp. Like, you know how like I had 3 with me at the start. In the other ones, you can sometimes get 6 to 8, right? If like depends on the number of pylons that you break. And I think that, I think as a whole that it's just like. It always makes... So I'll be honest. Today was actually the most fun I've ever had playing that scenario.
Oh, sick.
In all of my playthroughs of it. And also even actually playing the ramp. That was the one time I actually kind of was like... I actually enjoyed... You are bored, buddy. You want to play with your toy? Stop biting my belly. Like a big bowl of jelly. All right, you're going down? And I got you this. Here. It was one of the first times that I actually like enjoyed playing with the ramp. But as a whole, I always say that I love Edge of the Earth, but when it's done, I never want to play it again. Because it just is, I think, such a wet fart of an ending. Like, it feels so, like you said, it's just boring. It's just not a climactic way to end a campaign on, right?
No.
Like, I understand the theory, but I feel like it could be better implemented.
Especially because the linguistically, the Heart 1 and 2, especially if with this all this stuff that like maybe you don't know the truth, maybe you don't know everything about it.
Yeah.
You get this real sense of like, okay, I'm gonna die down here.
Yeah.
Like I'm collapsing the mountain. I'm taking everything with it. And when you give the heroes an out, I think that's particularly weak. I actually think how Edge of the Earth should end is you collapse the pylons and you die.
Yes.
With the creature.
Yeah.
And that's ultimately how the campaign has to end.
I mean, one of the things that Travis, and Bryn have as an issue with this game is that it kind of has evolved less from less of a Lovecraftian weird horror, you're doomed from the start, and more into like a hero power fantasy type of Call of Cthulhu adventure.
Yeah. Where
you can blow them up with a bazooka, right?
Yeah.
And that's like, I'm with you. I would much rather if it just like ended no matter what. And like, there was no escaping. Like the win result for Edge of the Earth should be everybody dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It also is very weird and doesn't make a huge amount of sense how this miasmic being is defeated by the falling mountain. Mm-hmm. So I feel that well, because you can only go up by the ramp. There's ramps everywhere. You know? Yeah.
It's wheelchair accessible in the City of the Elder things. And then when it's gone, he's like, you don't care about... He's just gone. Right?
He's just gone. He's just stuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I did feel it was a little bit of a weak ending, but I would still play it again.
Yeah. Like I said, today was the most fun I had playing that scenario.
Oh, good to hear.
Yeah. But it's, people on YouTube and Twitch know I hate the ramp. They always bring it up. I'm not a big ramp guy.
Not a big ramp. Not a fan of ramps.
But overall, you like the campaign?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like it.
Nice. What was your absolute favorite thing?
Ooh, probably just a lot of our silliness, but I think my overall favorite thing was probably when everybody walked away on the Dyatlov Pass.
Yes, that was mine too on my blind play. That's a cool moment.
It's a very
it's
cool
like
moment.
Actually horrifying.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I was like, oh wow, we're actually getting real fucking crazy with this story, and then not so much. It didn't deliver.
I think that it's the thing, and that like the whole situation is very unnerving. Like the scenario feels like heavy and scary and dark, and I'm with you there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Those were Eric's thoughts on the Edge of the Earth. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you're having a fantastic Sunday. As I mentioned in the last video, in a few months, we'll be back to do the Scarlet Keys. So look forward to our deck building gameplay of that. Who knows? Maybe you'll love it. Because you're always been slightly against the majority opinion. And the majority opinion doesn't like Scarlet Keys. So maybe, you'll be like,
maybe I'll like it.
There's something I like here.
I don't know. I feel it's going to be circle and done again. I think a lot of things are going to happen. I'm going to make the wrong narrative choices.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's just going to be like, I'm in France for some reason.
No, that's honestly, no, it's screwed. It's screwed from the get-go. And it also doesn't help that it's your favorite character who is like in there, and unless you get the secret ending, it's a bad ending for him. So.
Oh no, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. So all right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.